Hi, my name is Melanie.
And I'm Raul.
And we wanted to try something new. So you might have heard that earlier this weekend, Disney released a new 90-minute TV special on Freeform about Disney's fairytale weddings. And it seems cool, but the issue is it's a reality TV show, so it's not going to really show you what it's like to plan a wedding at a Disneyland resort.
But we're actually in our early stages of planning our very own Disney Fairytale Wedding. So we wanted to start a new video series that you guys can possibly follow us, and we'll document the process from beginning to very end of our Disney Fairytale Wedding from our point of view, and you guys can come along.
Yeah, so before we get into it though, we should probably explain why did we choose a Disney's Fairytale Wedding? Well, when we first met, Raul was a busser at Carthay Circle Restaurant at Disney's California Adventure. He was part of the opening crew.
Yeah, kind of explains our, Carthay couple thing that we have going on.
Yeah, and at the same time, he was also an intern at Imagineering, and he was working on Pirates of the Caribbean. So it made our first date really special because we went on the ride, and he was giving me behind-the-scenes facts, and it was really cool. It was behind-the-scenes facts. Well, no, he also told me what he was working on a little bit, and it was cool. So later that same year, though, I became a PhotoPass photographer.
Yeah, so you guys can obviously see that Disneyland is actually a big, important part of us.
Yeah, and so much so that he even proposed to me at Snow White's wishing well, which was so romantic.
Yeah, so when we actually, came down to actually choosing our venue, we actually did not think of Disney's Fairytale Wedding off the bat, quite frankly. It wasn't even on our radar at all. When we started thinking of venues, we looked at parts of like Western Sierras or somewhere in NorCal. But yeah, so we were looking at, low-key places that we can actually get married because we're not very ostentatious people. We're actually pretty low-key. So actually, her father was the one that suggested that we could possibly look into Disneyland. Since, Disney's obviously a big part of us, he actually suggested, checking out Disney's Fairytale Weddings.
Because I'm their little princess.
Yeah.
But I gave them a call, and I spent like 2 hours on the phone with one of their sales managers, and they invited us to come and have a meeting, and they were really nice, and they were very upfront about the costs of it, and it was because of the comfort that they gave us during that meeting that we came to the conclusion this could work. It was within our budget, it was going to be personal and very much us without being over the top.
Yeah. So earlier this year, actually back in February, we signed our contract with Disney to have our wedding for an earlier date next year.
Yeah, so it'll be early next year, and as of right now, we haven't even had our planning session.
No.
So the way it works at Disney's Fairytale Weddings is once you sign the contract with them, you are designated a Disney planner, and they send you a bunch of basic planning info. They give you packets to fill out and just lots of good information about getting ready for a Disney wedding. So once you've submitted all of these completed planning pages, that's when they give you a date that you're going to go and meet with your planner, as well as a Disney florist and a Disney decor specialist from the resort. So it's a little bit different in Florida. They do like just one big power planning day, and they do everything including the menu tasting. We don't get to taste anything off the menu, including the cake, until 3 months before the wedding. But it's okay because this meeting will solely be logistics, picking out the flowers, all of the kind of details of a lot of the decor and the way it's gonna look. But the menu stuff will be dealt with much later.
It's actually been quite a while. To be honest, it's been about 3 months since we've actually signed our contract with them. And so we're having this our planning session, and we wanted to explain what has and will happen between now and then.
Yeah, so when they gave us these papers, Disney gave us a list of preferred vendors that they would like us to use. We don't have to use them, but we could. So within these past few months, we've mostly just been researching vendors that they recommended to us and looking for other options, and we've booked a couple of vendors.
Yeah, so far we've actually booked our photographer and our DJ.
Yeah.
So for our photographer, we've actually booked White Rabbit Photo Boutique, which is quite frankly one of Melanie's favorite things. She just loves looking at their photos, and she's in love with her.
Jenna is really good.
Yeah. And for our DJ, we actually chose Wendy from the Matt Tea Party at Disney's California Adventure. And if you guys have never seen Wendy, you guys should go on YouTube and look up the White Rabbit.
I'll include a link down below for one of the videos of Wendy at work.
Yeah, she's an amazing DJ.
So she was one of the entertainment options that Disney actually provided. So she was booked through Disney versus the photographer who we had to communicate with directly. So there's a couple other people that we have to book on our own. So the officiant, videographers, hair and makeup.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited about both Jenna and Wendy. I think that they are going to be amazing.
And also, Mel has her dress. Well, I mean, sort of kind of has her dress.
Yeah, so I had a fitting and I've chosen my dress. I ordered it and it should arrive in early fall.
Yeah.
So I'm a little sad because I don't get to see it like until the end of this year, and it's a little bit stressful, but I'm really excited to get to try it on again. So it'll get me through the year until August or so, but I don't want to spoil the surprise for Raul, so nobody is going to see it until the big day.
Okay, so Mel likes to do a lot of artsy organizing, so she's actually started a planning binder. Gentlemen, if you've planned on proposing to your girlfriend and you're planning a wedding, this will be their entire life for the next year or so until you guys get married. So just a heads up.
This is my life.
So this is actually, this binder though is very important because when we actually go to our meeting, we'll actually be very well prepared.
Yeah, we are a little bit ahead of the curve. Like, I have been communicating with our planner a little bit, which I think is a little unorthodox for them. Like, she was surprised with how on top of it I've been for a lot of things. But I wanted to have a binder ready so that when we went to our planning session, I would have the receipts for everything we've already paid for, things we've already booked, contracts from the different vendors. I have samples of the caterer's menu that they have for Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, as well as the drink menu too for any bars that we might have. I also have a to-do list. I have inspiration pictures, color palettes. I have everything in this binder.
It's the whole 10 yards basically.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. However, one of the caveats about Disney for some of the designers is that you actually have to get them through them. So for example, food, drinks, anything that has to be served basically has to be done through Disney.
Yeah, they are a little bit picky about bringing in things. Not everything is forbidden. They don't want you hiring a vendor to create Disney artwork that might be copyrighted. They don't want you to bring in outside, I don't remember what else they don't want. They don't want you to bring in outside pastries or food.
Yeah, and like I said, anything that basically has to be served or consumed on property, big no-no for Disney.
Which hasn't been a problem for us though, because we love the food at the Grand Californian, because it has Napa Rose. And the chefs from Napa Rose are going to be responsible for feeding us at our reception. So we are not worried, like, at all.
Yeah. And on top of that, the cake, the list of cakes that they can offer those are also pretty impressive. So I don't even know why I would want to go outside of Disney to get my cake.
We don't want to go outside anyway because the cake list is awesome. I wish we could taste the cakes a little bit, like, earlier than 3 months out.
Kidding.
But we kind of already know which one we want.
They have so many tastes though. So no joke, when you see this list of how many toppings and other cakes you can actually use, it's redonkulous. I've never used that word before, but it's redonkulous. So, there's this list right here.
And this is the different cake flavors, fillings, fresh fruit that you can add. But then they have the suggested combinations, which is where we are leaning because we trust the people who've designed these.
Mel really wanted something like the DOLE WHIP or the churro cake and something. I wanted something a little bit more traditionally, something like a raspberry cake with lemon chiffon filling and fresh raspberries. Just saying.
That's the one. But luckily they let you do like different tiers as different flavors. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking that the top layer, the smallest one, could be one of the fun flavors. So one of my favorites is the banana chocolate chip cake with salted caramel mousse filling. that sounds really good. A little bit more childish than the raspberry one, but still good.
Yeah. So when that actually comes around, we'll give you guys a review of, the 4 flavors that we actually get to try. It'd be nice and interesting.
Yeah, so we are probably going to try the raspberry one because that's the one we're leaning towards for the main cake. We want to try the banana chocolate one because that sounds awesome. I also want to try their vanilla cake with dulce de leche mousse and fresh pineapples. And so we have one more option that we can fill. So it'll either be the pineapple cake with the Dole Whip mousse, or it could be any of the other cake flavors with the churro filling. So if you guys want to help us pick, leave a comment and tell us which ones we should try, because I think I'm leaning towards the Dole Whip because that sounds like a better cake to me than churros, because I love churros, but I don't know about churro cake.
Yeah, this sounds interesting. But no joke. Dole Whip or churro? Let us know.
I don't know, yeah. So as we get closer to the date, we'll talk more about things like the hotel blocks and entertainment, lots of other things.
More in details.
We haven't gotten into a lot of those things quite yet, but we do know how it works now, so we'll let you know more about it.
One of the challenges that we're currently working on is the logistics of bringing our puppy to our ceremony.
Yeah, we love our dog so much, and we really want him to be there. And since our ceremony is going to be outside on the property, Disney told us that we can bring our dog to the ceremony, not the reception. So we're kind of working that out with a friend. So the friend will have to take Einstein to the Disneyland kennel after the ceremony, and he'll have to wait there before the ceremony. So the logistics of moving the dog around has been a little challenging, but we'll keep you updated on that. So far, it's looking pretty simple, but we haven't had our planning session, so we don't even have the timeline, or as they call it at Disney, the banquet event order.
The big rule about dogs that they have was if you bring your dog, you can't have any horses. So that means basically carriages or crystal coaches, which quite frankly is not really a problem because we really don't care. And we weren't going to choose any of those options anyways, which is perfect for us.
Yeah, our location doesn't even accommodate those.
Yeah.
And I don't like horses that much. I mean, they're miniature ponies too.
Oh,
and then another thing is if our dog has an accident inside, we have to pay a cleaning fee. But Einstein is housebroken so much so that he'll tell us if he needs to go to the bathroom. So
so I don't think
I'm not
we
worried.
should be worried about.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we should be worried about it at all.
Yeah, so if you guys want to learn more about this process as we're going along, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We will try to make updates on the process semi-regularly, hopefully maybe once a week. Some weeks might not have as much happen as others. So obviously we just dumped on you what's happened in 3 months. So if we make a video next week, there might not be as much to talk about.
Yeah.
But if you guys have questions,
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and we'll try to answer your questions in the next video or something, or when we come along. Now, and it can be from anything. You guys can basically ask us whatever you guys want, and we'll try to answer. But forewarning, we're not going to see specifically where our ceremony will be, just because of privacy matters.
Yeah, it's a privacy thing, but I mean, honestly, you guys can ask us about the Disney Fairytale Weddings. You can ask about us and our love story because we love to talk about that. Leave a like, leave a comment, ask any questions you want. We'll be back next week to give you an update. Hopefully by next week we have a videographer, and I'm going to do some research on officiants.
Yeah, actually we gotta get on that.
Yeah, we need to get on that. It's finding an officiant is hard when you want non-denominational.
Yeah.
That's hard sometimes. I think Disney gave us a lot of options for non-denominational officiants, but we'll see, and we also just don't know who's available because we've been putting it off a little bit.
Yeah. So guys, thank you very much for watching. And
Yeah.
if you have any, if you guys want more content, including daily vlogs, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
All right, so this is the end.
See you real soon.